In March 2014, the flu attacked me when I was only 33 years old. At the time, I was enjoying full health and not paying much attention to my well-being. As it gradually worsened, I contemplated that it might be worth seeking help, but the step was never taken. My symptoms became more and more serious until finally I found myself having to go to hospital. It was the most difficult period of my life. The sharp pain in my back haunted me, and I desperately tried to find any position to ease the pain in my throat. It was absolute hell, and several times I passed out. The next morning, I could barely make it down the stairs to the couch. Realizing I couldn't get up, I called a friend and told her I probably needed hospital help. She came over, took one look at me, and said, "I think I should call 911. The flu brought many complications, and I spent 3 months in the hospital, including a month in the ICU. I spent 2 months on a ventilator, hooked up to a life support machine. This misfortune led to the emergency amputation of my left leg due to circulatory problems. Starting with the flu, I contracted bilateral bacterial pneumonia, which led to septic shock as all my organs began to fail. The only way out was to be hooked up to an extracorporeal membrane, oxygen-oxygen system, similar to a lung and heart bypass machine. I was on this system for 5 days. One rarely mentioned but serious complication was the lack of circulation in my extremities. Emergency amputation of my left leg above the knee became inevitable. The consequences of bilateral bacterial pneumonia caused by influenza became permanent lung damage. Fluid filled my lungs, and a large amount of scar tissue formed as a result of them being cleaned out in the hospital. Now, my lungs do not function as they are supposed to, causing a constant cough due to a condition called bronchiectasis. I sometimes have to take antibiotics to combat this. I also developed cardiac complications, partly because during sepsis and septic shock, all my organs began to fail, and my heart had to take a significant strain with low levels of function. I was put on life support to restore my heart and lungs. Although this saved my life, due to the stress of flu complications, my heart function has not fully returned to normal for my age and fitness. So I live with a slight decrease in heart function. While this doesn't affect my daily life much, it certainly becomes a concern to be taken care of in the future. As a result of all of these events, I came out of this period with my life saved, but with the loss of my left leg, permanent heart damage, permanent lung damage, having to re-evaluate my life at age 34 with a new, permanent limitation, facing more long-term health consequences than I could have imagined. All because of the fact that many people take the flu as a non-serious health risk. Unfortunately, I was not immunized at the time. I overlooked that the flu vaccine is for everyone, and I should have taken a few minutes to get vaccinated. Thus, there is no absolute guarantee that if I had gotten the flu shot, I would have completely avoided infection. However, I probably would not have experienced the extreme reactions and consequences that I subsequently had to deal with. Since then, I have been vaccinating regularly and certainly encourage others to join in the practice. It is important to me that people realize that the flu is not something to be taken lightly. It's not just a temporary ailment that goes away in a couple days, after which you feel great again and go back to your normal life. Yes, that may be the case for some people. However, for many people, it can become a serious and rapidly progressive illness. The flu can be life-threatening, and to reduce your risk, I highly recommend getting vaccinated. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your loved ones, for others, to reduce the spread of the flu. Take into account that some people may have medical conditions or weakened immune systems, and it's important for them to protect themselves from the risks. This small step only takes a few minutes, but can play a key role in maintaining public health.